Welcome once again to the Schaefer Small Engine Shop, two-car garage, electric kitty car repair facility, popcorn machine repair facility, small engine repair facility. And today we're going to look at one of my favorite pieces of equipment, the two-cycle chainsaw. And my friend Sam called me and said he had a chainsaw that he couldn't get started, but I worked on it. Of course, I love chainsaws, so I said, sure, bring it over. And he brings it over, and it's in this strange looking case, and he takes it out of the case. And this is what I see, and I'm thinking to myself, what is this piece of doo-doo that he has brought over to my house? But the more I fooled with it, the more I came to like it, and I'll show you what it is and what I like about it and what I don't like about it. This machine is a Craftsman 1.9 12-inch bar. Craftsman is manufactured by Poulan right here in Shreveport, and I found out from my friend Bob that worked at Poulan for years that this is a rebranded Poulan Micro XXV. And here's some of the things that I like about this thing. Everything on it comes apart real easy. Complete access to the carburetor. Complete access to the fuel line. And it's a clamshell design. You take the side cover off, the other side cover off, and you have access to the entire saw. Very easy to work on. Chainsaw, muffler, and here's the muffler. I'll show you it. It's got a great big screen in it, spark arrestor screen, and it's not going to foul up in a million years. It's got an inboard chain and sprocket, pretty easy to get to. Round on the other side of the machine, pull this clamshell off and you've got complete access to the starter, the coil. Everything's right there. It's just the simplest machine in the world to work on. I guess I was probably thinking about some of these red home lights that are, the whole machine slips up inside of a case and they're just a disaster to work with. But this little saw is pretty nice. So I first started working on it. Let's see if I can get this off. Get it out of my way. Hello. I found a number of things. Number one, the fuel line, which runs from this tank all the way up through the handle to the carburetor. Well, it was petrified. I mean, just complete frozen, unusable. And inside the gas tank, instead of gasoline, what I found appeared to be motor oil, maybe 1/4 of an inch of motor oil. Could be dissolved. The gasoline dissolved and left a two-cycle residue in there. I don't know, but when I poured it out, it looked like motor oil. And here's the filter that was in it. I've never quite seen one that looks like this. Completely impassable. You can't suck or blow through this filter, so all of that had to be replaced. And so I got most of it back together. Another thing about it that was different is it does not have a mechanical oil pump. The oil comes out this tube right here, but it is a vacuum pump operated. It's got a little diaphragm down in here, gets pulses from the engine, sends those pulses, that air, into the oil tank, pressurizes the oil tank, and the pressure from the diaphragm slobbers oil out this little hole here. Not the best design in my opinion, but it does work. Completely unadjustable. You can't, whatever it puts out, that's all it's ever going to put out. So that was something I didn't like about it, but basically everything else about the little saw I like just fine. Now that we've got her all back together, talk a little bit about the saw and its history. This saw was made by Poulan Industries here in Shreveport. As near as I can figure, it's a late 70s or very early 80s model. I knew it was old the first time I saw it because all the cases are metal. Got a little plastic up here on the top, but most of it is die-cast magnesium, and nobody does that anymore on entry-level chainsaws or little small chainsaws like this. But a gentleman here in town named Claude Poulan started making chainsaws, had a plant out on the south side of Shreveport, and was doing very well. A local man from an industrialist family here in town, the Beard family, bought Poulan, Charles Beard, and it became Beard Poulan. And I suspect this saw might have been made by Beard Poulan, I'm not sure. I know it's late 70s because it's got a it's got points and a condenser for an ignition, which is the first one I've ever seen. But anyway, Beard Poulan was operating here in town, just doing fine, and the rest of the Poulan family owned big steel foundry here in town, and then sold that to Mid-Continent Steel Castings, and went into the steel fabrication, plate rolling business out on the south side of Shreveport, which was Beard Industries. Then it became AMF Beard, and then finally Riley Beard, and finally it dried up. The chainsaw plant, it was eventually bought by, I believe, Emerson Electric. And Emerson Electric out of St. Louis owned a bunch of manufacturing type concerns. And they took the Poulan plant, Beard Poulan, and made it a part of, I believe, Frigidaire. And Frigidaire might have been a part of Kelvinator. I'm a little confused. I'm sure I'll get 1,000 comments corrected me. But it was Frigidaire Home Products, operated quite a while, still here in Shreveport, distribution center here in Shreveport. And eventually the company was bought by Husqvarna, and it's still a part of Husqvarna and still making saws for Craftsman as far as I know. But Husqvarna eventually closed the Shreveport plant, moved all of the manufacturing for their chainsaws that were not made in Sweden. They moved that up to Nashville, Arkansas, not too very far from here, and it remains up there today, making saws and blowers and string trimmers, whatever else Husqvarna makes, handheld equipment. So it's there today, and this is the forerunner of all of that. Now, this is not the easiest little saw to start. It's got a little pissant carburetor on it. The gas has got to come all the way from here through the handle into the carburetor. No purge pump on it, no primer. So, and I've already pulled on it 10 or 12 times. Didn't even pop. So this is how I've been starting it. Just pull this cover off, which comes off with 2 screws. Give it a squirt of special sauce here, and let's see what happens. Another squirt. I'm going to put the choke on. String of oil out from underneath the chain so the oiler is working.